started for today. I'm sure others will trigger in and as we started. Today's team meeting structure is going to be slightly different. So I'm going to make some announcements, but also today's is going to be headline based. And we're going to talk about a mastermind on what we've seen throughout the market, what our experiences are, so we can share collectively what's going on. But before we start, as always, tell me something good, something that happened within the last week or even today or yesterday. Who's not? Anybody want to share? Steve.
I just took another listing that came through. I have a seller I've been working with through the old ISA program we had last year, and it turns out he owns a 7-acre parcel home site up in Lafayette. And I thought he and the partner were kind of on different pages, but they're on the same page now. They want to sell, so he asked me to present a listing presentation to him. And I went up against 3 other agents.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to Arshita, we tweaked my listing presentation so it focused more on land than on houses. So we went through and just tweaked it all.
And this is a land listing this is a land listing as well?
Listing, yeah, 7 acres, listed for $1.4 million. But bottom line is I didn't even have to go do any kind of physical presentation. I sent my presentation to him before the market analysis. That was unbelievable. With all the drone photos and everything. And then I sent the listing, the market analysis, and they got back to me and they picked me out of the other. And I know the other 3 were local. Property's up in Lafayette.
Oh.
It's in Lafayette, but it was the listing presentation, and I suspect a little of my resume and the market analysis did.
Good job, Steve. What does this tell all you agents? He said the property's up in Lafayette and he's competing against other local agents.
Yeah, I really didn't expect to get it. I figured I'd get beat out by one of the locals. But I didn't.
So it's all about how you present yourself. Anybody else? I know Steven just got in contract.
Yes, early this morning. Yeah, my client was the only offer. A property been on the market up in Martinez for 17 days, and it was a flip, and a really good listing agent. We were able to write with it was a cash offer, but we were able to put in an investigation contingency without any pushback at all. And I think they like the fast close you can do. So I'm really happy for her because she was very disappointed. As I was telling the PC agents,
Congratulations.
2 days earlier, she had another offer on another property at a higher price that didn't work out. So, thank you.
Tina, you want to add?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I want to thank Tina because for my personal goals for health. So we all are very particular about doing some of the things in life, especially scrolling phones. I said, I'm not going back to my yoga regularly. I need an accountable partner. And she was like, from when? I'm like, she said, from today. I'm like, yes. And we are holding each other accountable. Whatever we are doing throughout the day, we'll let each other know. In that way, motivating each other.
What is your ultimate goal? Why did we set that up?
Our ultimate goal is to hike Mission Peaks. After 3 months, you all are welcome to join. I'm not going to market it. As you get to know, join us, and at least I'm not at a stage where I'll just go today
Why are
and
you
hike
waiting
it.
3 months?
Because
Just do it.
I bet you do it today.
doing is not a problem because you guys know I have 3 kids. After going home, I don't want to sleep for 2 days. And
This is leading up to it so she doesn't get injured.
So that's what I don't want, and I want to build that momentum. Before that, we'll have walk and talk time during our our calendar, so we all can join that. That will be marketed. But again,
We'll market it because it's going to be at the end of June, and
it is they should have interest.
oh yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's for Harshita. Okay, this is to make sure that she makes it up to Mission Peak. Regardless if you guys come or not, I'm going with her.
Thank you.
Steve, are you volunteering too?
I'm gonna challenge you guys because let's see, how old is that? At 60, see, I gotta get my math right here. At 63 years old, I hiked Mission Peak with 50 pounds on my back.
Whoa. Oh, by the way, I told Michael Putnam about it, and he said he's gonna come too.
I think Steven is also joining, Steven Klein.
Let's do it.
Let's
It's
do
gotta
it.
be- It's gotta be early in the morning.
Yeah, early
It's
in the
hot.
morning.
It is hot.
Yeah.
Oh, that means we burn more calories though.
By 9:30, 10 o'clock, we gotta be
By
coming
6
down.
we have to be at the entrance.
Guys, and I went twice and I met two snakes each time, so be careful.
You join and then I'll join you.
I don't have a clue what anyone's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, we're, Harshita's goal is to climb Mission Peak by the end of June, so we're gonna
Cool.
go do it together.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so our award ceremony is on April 7th. A lunch will be provided, and also that day we will have 3 top panelists that day, potentially 4, but 3 for sure for now. And one of them's from our office, and then 2's from the outside office, so it's nice to know what other agents are doing. And they're all different in terms of how they conduct their business. So there's no, I have to do it a certain way. No, you can learn multiple different ways on getting your name out there. It's gonna be from 11 to 1. Here's the QR code. Please RSVP because lunch is provided. We need to make sure we have a good head count so we don't run out of food. Okay. And then
Do you want to add the process stuff or not?
we'll do that next time. Yeah, at the award ceremony, we have another announcement. This is something that we're bringing to the office for you guys for free. So we'll talk about that at the award ceremony as well. So Power Hour again, it's 4 days a week, but I'm also excited because Stephen Beard has shared about Breakthrough 120,
Yeah.
which will also have its own 5 days a week Power Hour. So hopefully we'll get that going.
Yeah. That's gonna be great.
And I wanted to also share, because of this, I'm also calling with you guys. Agents and also my own SOI as well. I've gotten buyers back and potential listings. So you guys need to be out there making these calls. Today's structure, like I mentioned, is a little different. So we're gonna talk about headlines and how does that, what do you guys see out there? How does your clients and prospects are talking to you with these headlines? So one of the headlines that I've seen recently is California real estate agents feeling whiplash and global uncertainty. What are you guys seeing out there when you're having conversations with your clients? What are they saying? Buyers and sellers.
You wait,
They're gonna wait. Why are they waiting?
just uncertainties.
Do you feel, because a lot of times the clients come to us and they ask like, should I, I think right now is not a good time to buy, I think the market's gonna go down, that's the conversation, so that's why they're waiting. How are you leading that conversation? Is that an emotion or is that reality? Like what are we talking about?
What we should talk about.
What should we talk about? What should we focus on? Because do we have a, let's say, a magical crystal ball to know what's going on in the future? We don't. Steve, do you think we do?
No, we know what's happened in the past, and we can try to predict what's gonna happen in the future based on past history.
Right.
But we don't know.
None of us know.
What's going on now is a perfect example why people last year who decided to wait, for example, sellers who, rather than go on the market, say, in the summertime or go on the market in fall, thought, oh, well, let's wait till after the first of the year when the market gets hot, because historically that's what the market does. Well, guess what? Things happen. Things change. No one predicted or could foresee that we were gonna go to war 3 weeks ago. And that's a perfect example of an unforeseen event which has thrown the market in a tizzy.
the question that whenever they come to you for concern, what I always brings up is, why did you want to buy to begin with? What was your actual reason? Because none of us could predict it, and I'm going to show you why. Because this is one headline. Here's the other headline. Home buyers are rushing back to San Francisco. Where are the sellers? San Francisco is having a bidding war right now. So is the market tanking right now? Like all the fears that's happening everywhere? I was talking to the team lead in San Francisco, and she's stressed out because she's saying all of her agents can't find a home for their buyers. She has no problems having buyer leads. She doesn't want buyer leads. She wants seller leads right now. So real estate is very, very localized. The news and the sensation that's going around, it's just general. Maybe some places it is going down, but it's not the case everywhere. So you need to really know your current market and wherever your client is purchasing. If they're buying in, let's say, Tracy, it's going to have a different answer than, again, San Francisco. It's not going to be generic. It's not going to be, just.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's part of the problem with the media. Everyone has different media that they follow or listen to or watch. And a lot of media, if it's on TV, unless it's a local news station, it's going to tend to be nationally based. And so nationally, yeah, the market is not doing well at all nationally. It's kind of in a stall if you look at statistics throughout the country. But like Tina said, there are areas and pockets here in the Bay Area, supply is still low, demand is still high. I mean, at the end of the day, the first question that any buyer that wants to wait, I mean, you got to ask them, what are you waiting for? What is it that you think you need to be waiting for? The bottom line right now is the most important question for a buyer is, how secure is your job? And now that can go in two different directions, because over here you got all these people worried about AI. You know, they don't really know what the answer is, but they're just worried that, oh, everybody says AI is going to replace all these jobs, and so now they're thinking, well, that might be me. Well, if you want to use that as an excuse, maybe just go retire and go live somewhere else and don't worry and don't do anything. I mean, you can't use an excuse like that. Okay? I mean, nothing is certain in life except two things. Okay? So it's like you can't get 100% certainty with anything. So you got the camp over here worried about AI, and that's a whole other discussion. The reality is, what do you do? Who do you work for? What do you think the likelihood is of your job being secure? That's really, at the end of the day, that's the key question. If they feel secure in their job, right now is the perfect window of opportunity for buyers.
I will add to that. The reason why, if they're securing their job, right now, why is good. So I mentioned before, I had a recent sale on a listing. Tons of people walked through, okay, 76 on Saturday, 54 on Sunday. We would think that that's in a normal, when it was hot, that should generate like 30 to 40 offers. We got 5. That means that all these buyers are out there looking, they have money, they want it, they need a house. They're just, whatever emotions that they're working out, they're dealing with it right now, and they're holding it off on the brakes. You want to be there before they let go of the brake and press gas. So if your buyer has a need to buy a house and they have to buy a house, why buy it when everybody else is rushing back?
Yeah, people are like sheep. They want to follow everybody else because that's what makes them feel comfortable. That makes them think they're doing the right thing. What does Warren Buffett say? You buy when people are not buying, and you sell when people are not selling. You do the exact opposite of what the majority of the people are doing. Folks, that's the opportunity we have right now. Buyers, if they have a motivation to buy and they have the financial wherewithal to buy, and they don't have any major concerns about job security, they should be running out and buying right now. Forget the interest rate. A not gonna give you a loan unless you can qualify and make the payment, so don't worry about the interest rate, you can afford the payment. A right house comes along, checks all the boxes, buy it. If rates come down, you'll refinance and lower the rate, but you can't, if you wait, the demand is, what happens? Rates drop down, what happens when rates drop down? Demand goes up, what happens when demand goes up? Price goes up, what happens when price goes up? Your property taxes go up. Waiting means you're gonna pay more later.
Especially for buyers that's buying for long term.
Yeah,
It that doesn't, makes no sense, because then you ask them questions. You give them the scenarios, okay, what happens if your prediction is wrong and it doesn't drop in price? What happens? Do you think you're going to get more income? Is your income gonna stay the same? What's your position then? Because it's about risk. There's gonna be risk in every decision that we make. So you bring them to the decisions that they have to make where they have the least amount of risk. So would they, in that situation, would they have been happier with the house that they possibly, potentially could have bought it for a bit higher, let's say the market drops down? Or would they have been better off not buying and they have the market go up? And they can't no longer purchase. Which is a better scenario for them?
you have to get to their emotion and the emotional reasons as to why they wanna buy, and what their plans and goals are. 99 out of 100 buyers around here, what's the number one thing they're looking for when they go to buy a house? Starts with an S. Schools. And why are schools important to them? Because the likelihood is they're gonna buy this house and they're gonna raise their kids and go through the schools. They're not gonna sell this house for probably 20 years, if that. Okay? It's gonna be a long-term purchase. The real estate market always goes up and down. It has cycles. You just ride them out. You're not selling the property in 6 months or 12 months or 2 years. So you gotta get people off of the stock market mentality. Real estate is a long-term purchase. It's not a short-term purchase for most people. They're looking for that forever home they're gonna live in forever. I will have owned my home 30 years come September. Do you think I care how much I paid for that house 30 years ago? Think about that. Let that sink in. I could care less whether I overpaid, paid market, or underpaid. It's totally irrelevant 30 years later. It doesn't matter. Does everybody get what I'm saying? See, the problem you got, folks, is a lot of you, I'm gonna get cultural for a minute. A lot of you are dealing with a culture
Yeah.
that it's
Bring
all
that
about
passion.
the freaking dollar. When it comes to buying a home, it's not about the dollar. You've got to get people off of that. It is a long-term investment. It's where you're going to raise your family. Go back to secure job, you can afford the payment, the lender says you can afford the payment. You're not selling it in 6 months, you're not selling it in a year, you're not selling it probably in 5 or 10 years.
Most are keeping it longer nowadays.
Exactly. The average now is over 10 years. It used to be 5 to 7. See, you get where I'm coming from with this? This is what you can't just say, oh, I'm going to wait because everything's too uncertain, and you just leave it at that. Well, why do you want to buy? Let's talk about that. Kelly, where do you work? How long have you been there? How secure is your job? See, those are, and just keep asking questions. Don't just accept their response. Because a lot of them, they just think something's wrong and I shouldn't be doing this. They're a sheep following everybody else.
They're reading the headlines.
They're following the headlines.
They're reading there's always going to be a counter headline to everything that they read. So we talked about AI. There's a whole part of people that is thinking that AI is going to replace everything. Microsoft actually studied what are the jobs that's most likely and least likely impacted by generative AI. Guess where real estate agents stand? We're not part of the top 25. We're not even close. Oh, we're not even part of the 50, yeah.
I thought it was a Yale study. Microsoft?
This one's a Microsoft. Maybe
Even
there's a
better.
Yale one too.
Maybe there's
but-
two.
Maybe there's two,
So
yeah.
everybody's gonna become a real estate agent.
And then another headline recently last week that everybody was talking about is Florida man uses ChatGPT to sell his home. Guess what? You know what that is called? For
Clickbait.
sale by owners. And how long have we had for sale by owners? We had for sale by owners since before real estate agent existed as a career. Okay? So, and if you actually go and read all of that, he didn't sell it by himself. He still hired an attorney. And from what
One of our agents referred a client to me who I've helped on occasion with a few things, kind of more legal in nature. And he and this other guy decided that they think that they can create a brokerage run by AI and eliminate the physical broker. I mean, no, this guy's serious. I mean, so tell me about this. So we're going through, it's like, I said, you have no idea what space you're in and you have no idea what a broker does and what a broker is responsible for. Now, they stopped calling me because they knew I really wasn't gonna be, if I was gonna give them legal advice, I wasn't gonna be in their court because I didn't believe that model could succeed. Because there's tons of stuff AI can do for us in this business. Saves time like crazy. You should be utilizing it 110%.
it helped us sell more homes.
You guys are so lucky that you have AI right now because it can answer any question you have. What it can do for you is just endless. It's unbelievable and very time saving. But there's certain aspects of this business. There's still a personal element to this business that can't replace. Not only at the broker level, but at the salesperson level as well.
They're not there to pick up your client's phone call when they're freaking out or having cold feet, but they really want the house. And then this is news this morning.
Oh, this is cool.
This is, yeah. So as you guys know, right now, Compass and Redfin has teamed up for off-market listings. Zillow and Keller Williams teamed up for pre-marketing listings. Literally this morning, in the AM, we found out about this. Anyone want to talk about it? What is your feelings towards that?
I don't even know what pre-marketing listings means.
It's pretty much coming soon.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
being marketed.
Yeah.
Haven't they ever heard of the MLS? I mean, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Coming soons don't show up to other people.
Yeah. Coming soons don't show up.
Prior to today.
Well, they can.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I've seen coming soons on Zillow before today. I mean, I've had agents call me and say, oh, I asked all these questions about coming soon. And I said, well, give me the address of your listing. And I go, because they think it's not there. I said, I just looked it up. It's there.
So Zillow blocked Compass's off-market because I think that's why Compass wanted to take everything off-market, but they still want it to be shown on Zillow and online so it could drive traffic to them. But then Zillow blocked it, and now they were having basically right now it is the
They are totally.
what's that called? War of Titans, right? Everybody's just teaming up and fighting one another. But this kind of basically means we have the coming soons, and Zillow will be able to syndicate that as coming soons. From what I've read, I need to get more information on it, is that if, let's say, a house sells and let's say a buyer reaches out to Zillow and either reaches out to the listing agent, because he's going to advertise the listing agent, or reaches out to one of their partners, agents, that they will show the home. If the deal goes through before it goes on the market, supposedly Zillow would pay the listing agent a certain portion of it. I don't know the details of it. It is on the article though, and that is the QR code to the article. Of the Zillow, by the way, Zillow wrote that article.
It just seems to me that these big companies are trying, these
Inman
big
also.
companies are trying to figure out how to make more money, how to be more valuable, more powerful in the marketplace, but they're forgetting about the clients.
They are, yeah.
They're forgetting about the customer, they're forgetting about the homeowner trying to sell their home.
saw the Inman in my email this morning. Was that an article that Zillow wrote that Inman posted? Or did Inman,
Zillow wrote and Inman posted.
Inman
But our
posted
agents
the
don't
Zillow?
have, yeah.
But it's
agents
also
don't
in
have
command,
access.
AW sent out a news release too.
Yeah, most of the agents don't have access to Inman, that's
No,
why.
I know, that's why I was asking, I didn't look at the article yet, I didn't know if it was an Inman authored article, or if it was a Zillow, it sounds like it was Zillow.
It was Zillow, yeah, Zillow made the announcement first and then Inman put the article in
Yeah.
there, yeah.
I'll
So this
share.
is the Zillow one.
We'll hear from Keller Williams on that?
Keller Williams also sent an announcement this morning, I think they're gonna have
It's
a
in
call on
command.
it, it's in command?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we access those listings, like,
How do
as
you
an
what?
agent, as a Keller Williams agent, how do we get that?
Oh, it's gonna be on Zillow.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically buyers can see your coming soon listings, should they, receive an offer, that the seller is okay to accept before the home is ready. Cause sometimes the seller want to advertise that it's coming soon, while they are getting it ready and prepared. And they're open to taking offers if, we could save them the trouble and they still hit the price that they want.
And it's in command under what, Stephen, under,
I don't know, the one I linked to it went into command.
Oh,
I
okay.
linked to it on my phone.
Okay.
and it
Cause I
went
go into
into
command all the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I can check. what
This
we
is a
talked
big
about.
topic right now, and I
This
think
is
we're
huge.
all,
Who thought we would be getting into bed with Zillow?
I know.
Really?
Well, so Redfin and Zillow were on the same side before about against Compass, about Compass taking listings off market, right?
Right.
Having their own off market list. Redfin and Zillow was teaming together to combat Compass, and then Redfin changed. Their CEO changed. They sold. So now they belong to Rocket, and I guess Rocket's point of view is different than the previous CEO's point of view. So now Redfin and Compass are on the same team, and then we are with the Zillow's team.
I'll share two things, touch on what John said. Yeah, a lot of this is basically a money grab.
Yes.
And if you go back historically, Compass was not doing well for a long time. And they're the ones who really pushed for this off-market idea, this off-market platform, and having a private listing network. In fact, they went so far as to create books that would be in their offices with all of their private listings that were to be only available to Compass agents and their clients. But then there was some pushback, so then they said, oh, we'll let agents from other offices, they can come to our office physically and look at our book. Now, how often is that gonna happen? I mean, the reality is Compass was hurting for money and was looking for a way to try to double in more deals. Now, they've been arguing it in the guise of, we have clients, we think sellers should be able to choose where they can market their property. And we have all these sellers who they say want privacy, don't want their property on the MLS. They want it sold within this private broker network, okay? That's their big push. It's all about privacy and not letting, the public coming through their house and all these things. Now, there is a very, 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 very small percentage of sellers who that may apply to. Who would that be? The very, very wealthy who don't want their house and their identity and the location splattered all over the world, okay? And how many sellers are there like that? Very, 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 very small percentage. That's not the run-of-the-mill seller, but that's the argument Compass has been making for this private listing, is that sellers should be able to choose. I'm sorry, most sellers need 100% exposure. The part that is missing in almost every discussion I've ever read about this topic, I haven't seen this yet, is this, folks. If you're a member of NAR, you're subject to the NAR Code of Ethics. And under the NAR Code of Ethics, as a listing broker or agent, you have a fiduciary duty to get your seller the highest and best price for their property. Now, the reason that doesn't get talked about a lot is because when you read the NAR Code of Ethics, you won't see that wording in the Code of Ethics. It's implied from the Code of Ethics that says you have to look out for the seller's best interest, okay? I keep waiting for someone to bring that up. No one brings that up in any discussion about this pre-market, off-market listing. The reality is, you as a broker, you've got to explain to the seller the pros and cons of off-market, on-market, all of these different options. But they need to understand that you're not going to be able to look them in the eye if they sell off-market and say, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, this is the best price you're going to get for the property. Now, there will be motivated sellers. Some, again, very few, who need to sell quickly for financial reasons, whatever. There's always going to be a few of those, but is that going to be the norm? Is that going to be 20%, 30%? No. It's going to be a very small percentage. But that's what's driving all this, is this small percentage of people that fit into these little boxes. And they're forgetting 99% of the sellers. Does that make sense? That's what you need to wrap your head around in this. It's for me, it's very frustrating to hear all this stuff and see all this money being spent, and they're totally overlooking what it means to have a fiduciary duty to the seller to get the highest and best price. Now, keep in mind, how many people were on that call yesterday? Okay, and they were talking about, was it yesterday? Talking about disclosing the price, offers, and all of, you know.
Yeah.
You all understand, I hate to do this, but you all understand that the listing agreement says, yes, when the seller signs it, the seller authorizes you to disclose the prices that have been offered on the property. You're authorized to. As a listing agent, I just told you, you've got a fiduciary duty to get your seller the highest and best price for the property. Is it in your seller's best interest for you to disclose the prices that have been offered on the property to a buyer or a buyer's agent? Say no. Okay? No, did that even come up on the call yesterday? No, not at all. Because that attorney doesn't, she's not in the field. She's not selling real estate. She's just interpreting what the laws say. The reality is, folks, it's not in your, without your seller's permission and explaining to him what you're going to do, you should never, ever disclose the prices that are on the table. Because you don't know what that next buyer may be willing to offer. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, yes, the listing agreement says you're authorized to disclose it. You don't, somebody asks you, what do you have on the table? You can tell them the number of offers. That's it. My lips are sealed. I don't give them any indication of what I have. I had a guy come in my office, I had a $2 million listing, I had reduced it 1.8, and I had an offer on the table at 1.25. And he came in, he was ready to offer $2 million, because he didn't know I had reduced it 1.8. Now, would it have been in my seller's best interest to have said, oh yeah, I lowered it to 1.8 and I've got 1.25 on the table? Why would I tell them that? Do you understand where we're going with this? Negotiations 101. He who speaks first loses. Remember this, and it just didn't really come out clear in that class yesterday. The price that we list a property for is not an offer. It's a solicitation for an offer. That's why you can never bind the seller to accept an offer at the list price, because it's not an offer. It's a solicitation for an offer. You understand that? The buyer makes the offer, the seller responds, and the acceptance creates the contract. A lot of people don't understand that. Now, there could be an issue as to a seller's obligation to owe a commission if the price on the listing agreement has been met, but that's a separate issue. That doesn't have to do with the buyer and seller negotiation. Yeah. Any questions on that?
So
Yeah.
I came across a news saying that Compass has just changed the whole real estate scenario, so I didn't understand what does it mean, like how this whole thing.
They're talking
trying to do
about
the
this.
same- They're doing the same thing right here. They're trying to keep everything private in-house.
So you mean to say it's not visible to people, like anybody who can
No.
come
If
and
they,
see the
if
listing?
That's-
if they're not on the MLS yet, no. See,
Okay, so
They're-
everybody will keep their listing to them,
Mhm.
and it's like not open to anyone who can just come and see and.
Until they give, see, they want to pre-market it to their group and give them like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then if it doesn't sell, then they'll go on the MLS. See,
It's
they
the same
wanna
thing
do it
as
through
this.
a
They're just
phased
keeping it in.
Process.
And you have to ask yourself, what's the advantage to the seller?
Yeah.
What?
To have fewer people see their house.
Yeah.
The
The only
question,
advantage is to the listing agent, to the listing company, because they're trying to double in.
Yeah.
They will make more money. Even if the seller gets less, they will make more money.
How, like, why?
Because they're not offering it to everybody.
Not all buyers are
They're
able to make
offering
an
it to
offer
a
on the property. They
limited
don't even know
number
it's
of
for
buyers.
sale.
Okay.
It's exposure.
And it's
How
how
are
the
they
listing
making
agent
profit
and the
with
buyer
that?
agent.
Or
They're double ending the deal. They're getting this, there's.
A same buyer and oh,
Yeah,
their
they're
own
rep-
pool,
Yeah.
their
If it's a
price.
They're-
private
they're
group,
cre-
if it's not on MLS, it's all stays within the broker.
Yeah, it's like what we call a
It's gonna
pocket
be a whole
listing.
day.
You understand what a pocket listing is? Your pocket listing?
Okay, my people
Yeah.
just see you.
I'm
in
only
your-
gonna
wanna
show
talk
them
to
to my
them.
selected few people.
Oh.
If there's people out there willing to pay more, but they can't see it,
you'll never
Yeah,
know.
I tell people all the time, as a listing broker, I could double end every one of my properties if I wanted to. But would that be in my seller's best interest? Would that be fulfilling my fiduciary duty? No.
Would that keep you compliant with your E&O policy?
let me go another way here. I liken this to a FSBO.
Yeah.
Do you know statistically, most FSBOs don't sell? 90% of them go with an agent, and it goes on the MLS,
That makes
more
sense.
than 90%.
Yeah.
So what if Compass could have, let's call these FSBOs, they're the Compass FSBO. They've got a listing, but they're not showing it to anybody. It's like a FSBO trying to sell a house, but they're not showing it to anybody, other than their select people, so they can make money. Oh, it doesn't sell? Now let's put it on the MLS.
Yeah, so it's like John said
Put
earlier.
it on the MLS day one.
It's a money,
Treat your
it's
customer
a
right.
money grab. It's a money grab.
You're gonna come across listing agents like that, you know, you're gonna go to a seller appointment, and they say, oh, I've got a Compass agent who told me that they're gonna do this, they're gonna have this exclusive off-market, and they're gonna sell it off-market. You just need to ask some questions. If you were the buyer buying, would you only be purchasing off-market homes? If a true interested buyer that's on the market looking for homes, are they only buying off-market? Just ask the seller to put themselves in the buyer's position.
So if the seller is ready to give for less someone, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then, if you are buying it off-market, what do you expect as a buyer?
Less, I expect to pay less.
You expect to buy less. Now, you ask them as a seller, is that the type of buyer that you want?
Yeah, I mean, we have people ask us all the time, our question is, are you buying for a home? Are you looking for, yeah, I am, but I want a deal. I wanna buy an off-market property, I want a deal. Okay.
Everyone wants a
Everybody wanna
deal.
save money.
Everybody wants a deal. That's
Everyone
not,
wants
you're
to.
not special.
So,
They just deal.
last week, I had an open house, a lot of people showed up, but the major challenge was like everybody wanted a deal. Like people wanted to go with the listing agent, they said, you know what, I don't want an agent, I don't want to commit to an agent. I want to make a deal with the listing agent. I want to see how it works. I can directly offer to them so that I can save it on my, so.
There's not gonna be, see, there's the fallacy right there. Trust me, there's no savings. Write this down.
Yeah.
There's no savings to a buyer having the listing broker represent them.
And how to talk to it, like this.
You just,
was-
that's what you tell them, there's no savings.
Or ask them,
The
why do you
they
think you're
there's
going
gonna-
to save money?
They think there's gonna be they think the listing broker is somehow gonna, give up. Now, there are listing brokers that'll do this, but.
They're
but-
testing to see if you're ethical or not.
Exactly.
It seems to me it's a good opportunity to talk about the fiduciary responsibility,
Exactly.
your
Sure,
fiduciary
yeah, yeah.
responsibility,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How could you possibly be a fiduciary to both sides of a deal?
Well, I think the only thing that had in their mind is that they are going to save
They
all
think.
the money.
They think
well,
they're gonna
well,
save
no,
money.
Here's, when buyer
They're gonna
broker
save half a
first
point.
came in,
They save some commission.
here's
on
what a
half
lot of
point.
buyers thought. The buyers
They
thought,
up in the price.
well, we don't have, the seller's not compensating the buyer's broker anymore. So we can just come in to the listing broker and say, we wanna buy your house, all right? You have an agent? No, okay. Are you gonna represent yourself? Well, no, we want representation. Well, you're not getting representation for free. So
They can't-
you're either gonna pay the listing broker to represent you, or you're on your own. And if you're on your own, you're not getting very far with my seller. Because I'm not gonna babysit you. Now, that's where that more compensation when there's an unrepresented buyer. How many times has that happened? I don't think it's happened at all yet that I know of.
I had one about 5
Maybe
years
one,
ago.
yeah.
He didn't.
I don't
want to
even, I
represent.
stopped even putting.
And there's a car form for it.
I even stopped putting anything in there because it hardly ever happens. I spend more time trying to explain it to the seller than it's worth because it very rarely happens. If it does happen, I'll deal with it. But my point is, buyers thought they could just come in and go to the listing broker and have the broker write an offer on their behalf, and they weren't gonna pay the buyer side commission. That's not true. They're not gonna pay buyer side commission if they represent themselves. But
You
again,
just give them the full- they
reality
fill
is
it out
that-
themselves.
Yeah, the reality
There's
is
no
we didn't
guidance
very
from
far
you.
with that. I mean, trust me, folks, you're looking, that's a train wreck waiting to happen. You're gonna be issuing notice to perform every third day of the deal.
And
I mean, it's just, it's gonna be absolutely, it'd be ridiculous.
I believe this comes from the buyer having no knowledge of the documents of the process.
No,
No, they don't.
you're gonna have a few, there are gonna be exceptions, there's exceptions to everything. You're gonna have a few people that, investor types who maybe have bought multiple properties, and they kinda know the contract. They can take an old one and write out a new one based on the one they used before, they'll do that sort of thing. That's gonna happen, but I'm talking about the run-of-the-mill mom and pop looking for a family home, those types of people, they don't understand all this stuff, they don't know what it all means, they're not gonna be able to figure it out. The reality is they need representation, bottom line, and they're gonna pay for it, it's not gonna be free.
Very true, but I think the people are with the AI now, they're getting in their head that they can ask anything.
They could,
Sure.
yeah, sure, but
You can.
Representation.
they will always
I
try
think
to
that-
do that, but.
That
I'll
is
tell you
very
what,
true.
we're running low on time,
Yeah,
but I will
that's
tell you the
very
answer. Me as a listing agent, if I do see a unrepresented buyer representing themselves, and if they do have the highest price, I'm gonna counter everybody else that has representation, and then whatever's gonna net still the same amount as my seller for that with representation.
Thank
I propose a script practice, a script mastermind around this. Because we have to come up with answers, we have to, I think it's better to.
Well, yeah, the bottom line is you need to just understand the process, and you need to be able to explain the process to
Yeah.
them.
On the buyer.
Thank you very much, really appreciate that.
We're gonna talk more about it, cause this is a huge topic, and this could go on and on for the
Yeah,
whole
well,
day.
yeah, I mean, AI
So-
is still in infancy as far
Yeah.
as its effects and how it's being used and so forth. Yeah, you're right, they could ask AI almost anything, but you need to understand, it's one thing to have a piece of paper, It's another to go from that piece of paper to the close of escrow. A whole lot of stuff goes on in between. 95% of it they don't even know about because we don't share it with them. That's been the problem in our industry. We've tried to insulate the buyer and the seller from what's going on behind the scenes because we don't want them to get worried and freak out. So we mask it all from them. We're not transparent with everything that's going on. That's been part of the problem in the industry. But the reality is, it's once you go into contract, especially when you represent a buyer, that's when you're all in when it comes to the work that you need to do.
I think an idea would be to have prepare a page with why a buyer would need a realtor. Like you have to mastermind and make it. But when someone says that, it's like, I hear you. Here's something that you
I'll send you a list of. Did anybody remember there was an article about a company that advertised they would represent buyers for like 0.5% or something?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that company?
I recently dealt with the buyer side using one of those companies, and it was a
yeah.
nightmare. But they had the highest price though.
I read that article, I got so ticked off, and I just started writing down all these reasons why it doesn't work. It's like,
Yeah.
I could rattle off all kinds of stuff. It's just,
It has to
it's
be
like,
very
it's almost
concrete.
like having.
Yeah, wait, they
It's
were
like,
100%.
yeah, it's like
Like
having
everything,
well,
like
we've
everything.
had models, all kinds of models to save consumers money, and guess what, folks? They never
You
survive.
get what you pay for.
They never
Well,
survive.
the company behind it wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
The company still had to be
Okay.
profitable, and it wasn't.
So, we talked about listings a lot. I want to see where everyone's buyers are. Is there any buyer wants and needs right now where they cannot find a home for their buyer? No?
You all should have a bunch of them.
Yeah. If not, you guys got to be on the power hour and start making calls.
So I have a buyer who wants bigger house, but they're not seeing the listing in Ardenwood.
In Ardenwood, yeah. What's the price point?
Max 1.8.
Max 1.8. What are they looking for? Like how many bedrooms?
4 bedroom is good, big living room and big kitchen.
You know why I'm doing this? She has a buyer. It doesn't mean that you have the listing. However, those that are looking for clients now know there's a buyer out there. You could go help her find the listing. Go find the seller.
Go find a seller.
Go find the seller with what
There's
she
your
has.
There's your golden letter.
Where are they looking? Yeah.
They're looking for Ardenwood, 1.8.
That's a legitimate golden letter right there.
That's an actual golden. There's
That's
people.
That's a legitimate, that's not an ethics, breach of ethics golden letter. You don't understand when I say that, folks? All your advertising needs to paint a true picture. If you send a golden letter to a neighborhood and you do not have a buyer for that neighborhood, physically have a buyer under contract for that neighborhood, you're breaching the code of ethics by sending that letter to the neighborhood. And it goes on all the time. It gets taught in this industry. Some of the top agents in Fremont have been doing it for years and years. I get them in the mail. And I go, he doesn't have a buyer for my neighborhood. He doesn't have a buyer. He wants to list my house.
And then you'll have a buyer.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, they don't have a buyer, right? But
You were saying
that's
we have a
legitimate
buyer.
golden letter.
You know, because we're at the same
You have a
brokerage.
buyer.
And you could utilize that to go talk to the sellers, so you're not just blindly talking to them.
See, folks, when the market starts performing like it is right now, this is why, so you need to tell all your friends and colleagues in our office, this is why you need to show up at meetings, because we need to share more information. It's not all about just listing a property that's gonna sell in 7 to 10 days anymore. And I get tired of seeing my listings up on that screen. Now I've got 5. It's like, I don't wanna keep seeing them up there. But you gotta share information.
Yep.
You can't be your own little cocoon, dealing in your own little world, try to find, you gotta share.
I got a 1.3 buyer, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, anywhere between Newark and Union City and Dublin, but wants moving ready.
At 1.3?
1.325.
Sounds like a townhouse to me.
Yeah. They could go up higher by June. So at this moment, that is the highest they can go, but by June it's 1.5.
And when you say moving ready, you mean remodel?
It doesn't have to be fully remodeled, just not original. Not original.
Not original.
Yeah.
My neighbor is selling.
Oh, Give me some information. Let me know. Okay, this is for this week, the changing demographics landscape. You want to, because we are in a multicultural area, right? So a lot of our buyers have diverse backgrounds with, cultural beliefs and etc. And we need to know how to talk to them and what is important to them. Lucy's hosting this this Wednesday from 10 to 11 to talk about the different culture and how to operate in this
Please
market.
RSVP if you're planning to attend because Jennifer is flying from Southern California.
Yeah. She's flying here for this to teach you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope
So-
they're not bringing lunch.
You better double check, make sure.
No lunch. That's the reason I said 10 to 11.
Okay.
75 Thrive has a golden text. We talk about the golden letter. This is if you want to learn how to text out to people with a text message that will get responses. This is what you want to go on. It's March 19th from 11 to 12:15. It is via Zoom.
And I bet what he teaches violates the code of ethics. I'm almost positive, because I've heard every instructor out there teach golden letters, and I bet he won't say anything about true picture advertising.
This Thursday from 1 to 3, I want all of you guys to be here, especially the ones that really wants to learn about social media.
Is this gonna be on more, expand on what she talked about?
Yeah, this is a 2-hour session.
This is gonna go into more detail.
Yeah, this is gonna go into more.
She was talking like a mile a minute.
She talks really fast, but again, she's over 165 homes last year alone through social media.
Right.
And she utilizes algorithm, how to set up your profile, what words to use, how to tag yourself, and how to get engagement. Okay, that's the key, because you can have a lot of views and have no engagement. This is this Thursday, 1 to 3. It's live streaming, but we'll be here. Upcoming
I
events.
think I missed one slide. Tomorrow we are also celebrating St. Patrick's Day
Oh, yeah.
after Lucy's class, so I missed that slide. So it's from 11 to 12, if I'm correct.
12 to
12 to 2. Oh, sorry, 12 to 2. So please RSVP if you want to, and it's a potluck as well.
Did you change the class time? 'Cause I thought it was 11 to 12.
Can
It's
you
now
check?
just 10 to 11.
Yeah, it was 11 to 12 earlier, but
You
she
switched,
asked.
so now it's 10
right?
it's 10 to 11.
Yes, class is
Okay.
10 to 11,
Yeah.
and then 12 to
And an hour
2 is
break.
potluck.
An hour break to go eat lunch.
No, people will go.
Oh, yeah,
and-
we're gonna have lunch tomorrow.
You can have
Yeah.
lunch. You
Stephanie?
not bring it up?
Stephanie, you want to talk about this one?
Next Friday is the onboarding for new agents, seasoned agents that doesn't have the portal for your finance stuff, and then also for list reports.
Stephanie, who are you?
I'm Stephanie Farima, finance manager at the office.
Where's your office?
I support anything, finance related.
Thank you.
This is also another class that I will be bringing somebody. Woo is a terrific entrepreneur. He will show us how to be more present online. A lot of us, social media, AI, those are not going away. So he will help us understand how to be searched online and to see, what are popping up when you search your home. So he's going to do a presentation to kind of help us with our online presence. So
Packed breakfast is provided
breakfast is provided.
by
Come
Stephanie.
Join, you can. This is in
RSVP
person.
required.
Breakfast? All right.
Yes, so it'll be in the morning, 10 to 11.
Okay, Rookie Real Estate Agent Workshop on the 22nd via Zoom.
Has anybody read that book?
Which one?
The Rookie Real Estate Agent?
No.
No.
It's probably a good book if Jay wrote it.
Yeah.
We have Red Day coming up, so it's being part of the shirt cost is being sponsored by our RE Mortgage and also Greystone. So our all cost is only $4. So if you want to get your orders in, fill out the.
Do you know what you're doing it for what we're doing it for Red Day?
We're working that out right now. Red Day is going to be in May. For those of you who doesn't know, is when Keller Williams get together. As a whole, we volunteer and help the community. And we're Karshida and I are working that out on. We're keeping it local this year. So, but we're trying to see if maybe it's at Lake Elizabeth so that we could get more exposure, so people can actually see everything.
If any one of you have any connection with City of Fremont, I want to get hold of them, so I.
Well, we had the mayor here a couple months ago.
Yeah, but, yeah, he may be.
Just giving you a bad time.
No,
Pick
so-
up the phone and call the mayor, hey, say, he remembers this, he's a nice
Okay,
guy.
I'll do that.
He's a nice guy, we'll take it.
Okay, so I will, so I want to do something in collaboration with City of Fremont, so we can, show our brand, as well as we are pretty local and as close as to our office. So we have lunch with them in the office, hopefully.
And that would be on weekend?
No.
May
it's,
7th.
May 7th, we can only do it first,
Yeah.
Thursday of the month of May every year.
Every year. Coming soon. Wait, did we get to Greystone?
It's,
Okay. Debbie has a listing coming up, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. William has one in Newark. Bamal and Pre has one in San Rafael. 2.9 million is a big one.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, I asked them, is it 17?
17?
Yeah,
I-
I did.
Sounds
Wait, this is a real, like, actual
I
number?
asked them, they said yes.
Sounds like a boarding house.
17 and 9
Is this
baths.
like an Airbnb?
That's
Airbnb
what
maybe?
was mentioned here.
5,000 square foot.
9?
You guys go and check again, but yes, I asked them yesterday. And
17?
Interesting. Hey, you know what? Hey guys, this will be a really good one for social media. I'm just letting you know, because social media likes really, really weird houses, or really, really grand houses, or really, really rundown houses. Those are the 3.
That isn't right.
Yeah, yeah. So if that's the actual number, this is a good social media post.
Yeah, everybody needs 17.
Yeah, because everybody's posting the normal houses. Oh, I got this listing. They all look the same, right? But the consumers, the one that gets the most engagements are those 3. Big, giant luxury homes that they don't normally see. Totally run down flippers, completely in a mess. And these ones, odd ones. Lucy Chen has one in Fremont, 2-bedroom, 2 bath. And then Steve Lafayette, is this the one that you talked about?
That's the listing.
That's
I
the
talked
listing.
about. Yeah, that's 7.18 acres. It's zoned R20, but given the topography, subdivision would be a stretch. It does have 2 potential home sites, one near the road at the bottom of the hill, and then one almost all the way up at the top of the hill. As you can see, it's very wooded, but it's a great neighborhood in Lafayette.
Another one for Prina Bamal, 1.325 in Gilroy. Oh, that's the same picture as the other one.
Yeah, my bad. So,
Okay.
but listings are, there are 2 listings, for sure.
Okay, two separate. This one's 4 bedrooms.
This makes more sense.
Yeah, because maybe the other house is the wrong picture. Cause
The other one's a better deal.
Rashid?
I don't
A
know
Fremont?
him. Is he here?
Is he here today?
No.
This is Mission San Jose.
Is it still, the offer date is 18?
He's still there because
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. You just if the offer date is done and it's not
done.
sold yet, so it's still there. John, you want to talk about yours?
Inside that door, it's totally new. The people who own that house had their kids living there, son-in-law and daughter for about 5 or 6 years. They moved to another place, and mom and dad, who never lived there, decided it needed to be revised, which it is. New floors, new lights, new appliances, new countertops, new cupboards, new appliances that have never been used. New bathroom, it's absolutely brand new and gorgeous, and in a nice place in Livermore there. So,
How's the
It's a-
activity-
condo,
how's the activity-
by the way.
How's the activity?
Slow.
Slow?
There's a pool.
It's a nice
part of
community,
the
though.
deal.
It's a nice community there. Fourplex from Ron, if anybody's looking for an investment. This is in Oakland. Jaideep has a Union City listing at 1.6. Natasha, Union City. If you guys want to do open houses, opportunities, here are the listings to call the listing agent. William in Moraga. Steve, another one in Newark.
Yeah, that one I've had for a few weeks now. We just reduced the price, 70,000. It's now $1,525,000, so that's a good deal for Rosemont and Newark.
The other land,
Got buyers looking for a lot to build a home. Got 3 on Morrison Canyon Road.
your turn, Steven.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I think we're running behind, so I'll try to be quick.
No, it's okay.
It's okay?
My bad.
It's all good. Everyone loves listening to you, Steve. So in the top left corner there, there's an article about the insurance commissioner trying to make improvements to the California Fair Plan. For those of you who know about the California Fair Plan, it's the insurance that's available when a property doesn't fit into the appetite of any other insurance company, whether it's an admitted company or a non-admitted company. And for those of you that have experience with the Fair Plan, you know that it's not complete insurance. It does a lot of things, primarily protects from claims due to fire, wind, lightning, smoke, hail. And when we write a California Fair Plan policy, we have to write what's called a difference in conditions policy. A lot of people call it a WRAP policy. And the idea is that when you've got both of those policies working together, they're designed to very well mimic the coverage that would be found in a traditional carrier. So you're not losing coverage just because you're putting it together with 2 policies. The commissioner has petitioned to try to make the California Fair Plan a more complete policy, make it like a traditional homeowners or traditional landlord insurance policy. It's going to take some time, and I'm not even sure it's going to go through, but it does demonstrate the commissioner's knowledge that things are not great in the insurance marketplace and that he's trying to make improvements. I can also say that we're starting to see some carriers who had stopped writing new business in California return to market. And those carriers, as a condition of returning to market, they are writing in areas that they weren't previously servicing. So we're seeing more capacity in areas like the city of San Francisco, parts of LA, parts of areas of the foothills. Pat?
What are the companies?
The first 2 that we've seen so far are Mercury and Travelers.
Oh, Mercury.
Mercury never stopped writing, but they're
did they?
taking on more capacity.
Okay.
They're writing more renters policies, they're writing a lot more condo policies. They've opened up for condos very much, and Travelers also is open up for business. The only hitch with Travelers is that they won't write property only. It has to be bundled with auto. But that maximizes savings anyway, so it's not a problem,
Gives you a
right?
discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Politics.
Right. If you want to read more about it, that QR code will take you to a link, I think, on the Insurance Journal's website.
Has the Fair Plan gotten easier on underwriting or time frame on underwriting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
most policies get underwritten in just a day or 2.
Oh, wow.
If there's a hold, it's about a week. It's not like it was before. Yeah. Oh, it was awful for a time ago, but that was like 2 years ago. It's fine now.
What's the likelihood of passage of that act? Is it too new to be able to evaluate?
Too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. In my opinion, it would be better if they kept the Fair Plan the way that it is and increased limits. Because for those of you that don't know, the California Fair Plan has a $3 million cap, total insurable value. So the replacement cost of the dwelling, plus other structures, plus personal property, plus loss of use cannot be greater than $3 million if the home is titled to an individual. And that's great for most homes, but restrictive for a lot of homes, especially bigger homes in higher risk areas, which tends to be where the bigger homes are. Okay, on the bottom left corner there, personal lens pro tip. It's my understanding that most homes in California are sold with some sort of home warranty plan, whether the buyer buys it or the seller buys it for the buyer, or sometimes it's a gift from the agent. When we present proposals to your clients, we include on there what we call the mechanical breakdown endorsement, just as information for the clients. It's very much like a home warranty. It's not as robust. The home warranty does a lot more, and we absolutely universally recommend that clients have a home warranty at least for the first year. But if they decide, or when they decide that they don't want to renew that home warranty, they can get similar coverage from their insurance policy, and it's significantly cheaper. Most mechanical breakdown endorsements cost under $100 a year. The reason that they are so cheap is because they have a $500 deductible, which is still cheaper than the typical deductible on the policy, But that just, to me, demonstrates that the intention of that endorsement is to protect appliances that have completely failed, not appliances that need to be repaired. Most repairs don't cost more than $500. But it does cover everything in the kitchen, plus hot water heater, furnace, pool pump, if a home has a pool. So it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, because home warranty, usually the sellers nowadays over here, they do offer and pay for it. But after the first year, that cost significantly increases, and I'm seeing like home warranty renewals at like $1,500 a year. It's not really worth it after that to purchase. So
Depends.
this will make
The
sense.
other thing
Depends
too-
on the house, yeah, it's depending on the house,
A
right?
lot of your warranty companies are now offering a 2-year policy, which
Oh, that's
it just doesn't cost double of the 1 year. So, you know, that's, if
Oh,
you're
that's
representing
interesting.
the buyer and you're gonna ask the seller to pay for it, you should consider asking for the cost of a 2-year policy.
I bought my house about 13 years ago. It's a 1950s ranch-style home. You've seen 100 million of them. We had our home warranty for about 3 or 4 years because we kept having problems. And I decided to not renew my home warranty after a year had passed and we didn't use it. I figured at that point it had used its usefulness.
Just one other thing is, if you're working with investors, a lot of investors like to use home warranties, particularly like on multi-unit properties, duplex, triplex, fourplex. They'll just write that in their budget as a cost of business.
Yeah.
Because they can get repairs done.
Takes out a lot of headache.
And it's a lot easier for them and the property managers to deal with.
Yeah.
So I have a personal question on home warranty.
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take when you raise the ticket to come the people to show up?
Depends, if it's an emergency, they have people available on call for emergencies.
So they
If you
just-
have like a plumbing leak or something, you've got a major issue, they have emergency people that will come, just like if you pick a number out of a phone book, they have emergency people if you tell them it's an emergency.
So-
Otherwise, typically, turnaround
2
time
days.
should be 24 to 48, maybe 72 hours. You shouldn't have to wait that long.
Okay, so.
Call your rep if you're not hearing from someone by the next day.
Yes, so I had an electrical issue, and when I raised it, it was Friday morning, and they didn't reply, then I called insurance and all that. So today morning, they texted me that we are going to take this up, and the next appointment you will get in on 21st March, something like that.
Which
And-
company are you dealing with?
I don't remember, I just have to check with my husband.
This is home warranty, not, this is
It's a
home
home
warranty.
Home warranty.
Home warranty, not
Yeah.
homeowner's insurance, home warranty.
Is it different?
Yes.
I know home warranty is. not
Home warranty is
we are not
different
talking-
than
It's different than
insurance.
home insurance.
Oh.
Warranty
You want it to be on your home.
warranty covers appliances.
So you're still renewing warranties every year.
Yeah,
Do you know who the rep is for that company?
no.
Look up the rep for that company and call that rep. That's.
Or have Steve do it. He loves that stuff.
No, just call the rep.
Yeah, because I'm very surprised, I didn't know it works like this, like it's like, how long can you wait for one electrical problem to be
You should-
solved?
you should have
We
to
shouldn't, yeah.
Call your rep.
Call the rep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I do have a question. So if, let's
Yeah.
say that for the mechanical breakdown endorsement, if they do call and put a claim on it, is that gonna affect the homeowner's policy?
Great
Because the home warranty does
question.
not, right?
Great
It doesn't follow
question,
the
yeah.
house.
So the mechanical breakdown endorsement actually claims on that cannot affect eligibility or premium.
Okay.
It's actually a separate policy that's just serviced by the insurance company.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when do you call a tax Greystone Insurance? If you think that the cost of insurance is going to be a limiting factor in whether your client can write an offer, you can send an email to kwadvisors@greystoneinsured.com. We really just need the address in a day or two, and we'll get you a premium indication, let you know if we think that the home is going to be $300 or $400 a month, or if it's going to be $800 or $900 a month. It might make a difference in whether or not your clients want to write an offer. If you take listings, we believe that having an insurance proposal as part of your listing presentation will help separate you from your competition. So it shows that you're looking at things a little bit more comprehensively, less transactionally. And then you also have marketing material for your open houses. Anyone that's interested, you can show them that there's an insurance agency that has already underwritten the policy and has a good premium indication.
I'm gonna add to that, it's good to have that in your listing package, just so that the buyers see and they can approve of it, because if they can find a better price, at least they know about Greystone's pricing. Okay, they can always shop for others, because I had a buyer that backed out, because after we got into contract, we found out the insurance was $20,000.
Yeah, I've put deals together on my listings with his quotes, because the agent on the other side and the buyer they didn't know how to navigate.
Yeah.
They did not navigate,
Yeah.
they didn't know what to
I mean, KWA offices have a competitive advantage over the other offices that don't have in-house insurance. It's not common, really. So, if you've had a great experience with Greystone Insurance or you appreciate the value that we bring to these meetings, you can scan the QR code, leave us a review on Google. Hopefully it's a positive review. If we get 50 by the end of the year, we're gonna raffle off a $500 Amazon gift card. Thanks for having me.
So what is covered in BOP for realtors?
The BOP.
BOP.
The BOP.
Do you have 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Market Center has an E&O policy that is intended to extend to each of you. If something unfortunate happens transactionally, typically failure to disclose, and you get served with a letter from an attorney, the E&O policy will defend you. The Market Center also has a general liability policy that is not intended to extend to each of you. A BOP is a business owner's policy. Each of you is running your own business, and you don't have coverage for general liability claims. So that's claims of third-party bodily injury, third-party property damage. So the examples that I give is if someone's at an open house and you're taking them, let's say, from inside to outside, there's a long step, and you say, hey, watch your step, and they don't hear you and they get hurt. If they want to make you responsible for their injuries, unless you have your own general liability insurance, you would have to hire an attorney to defend you from that claim. There was also a claim, this happened in a KW office in Southern California. The water to the wet bar was turned off because the pipe was leaking, and the buyer required that the pipe was fixed as a condition of the sale. So the agent hired a plumber. Don't ever do that, right? That's an E&O problem, right? If you want to help your clients with service professionals, introduce them to at least two, let them decide who they want to use. But they hired a plumber, the plumber fixed the pipe tested, escrow closed. 2 or 3 months later, the pipe failed again, flooded the house, $216,000 of damage. Who got sued? Everybody got sued. But because the agent had a BOP, his insurance company wrote a letter that said, you're not going to get anything from us, you should go contact the plumber's insurance. It also has limited coverage for intellectual property claims. So if you're using things that you find on the internet in your advertising that you think either don't have any intellectual property rights, don't have any copyright rights, or you've cleared them, and someone makes a rights claim, the BOP could defend you from that claim as well.
I had a case one time when I was a broker, back when women wore high heels a lot. And the agent was, I mean, the real stiletto type high heels, okay, you know, the agent was in the backyard, and there was a hole, probably a gopher hole, in the lawn. Her heel went in that hole, and she injured her leg and whatnot, and we had a big lawsuit.
Yeah. The application for BOPS is like 1 page. It'll be the easiest application you'll ever complete. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's it for today. Seems like we really like discussions. We should have more of that.
We need to have like a specific time set aside.
Yeah. We should have like a